Okay, welcome everybody to Against All Odds. We are so excited to have you here with us this evening. We are in pre-launch right now. We've got until August 22nd. Now is the time for you to lock in your spot. Now is the time. We've got so many exciting things happening. So many people are joining the business. And I got to tell you, this is the hottest thing that I can even think of happening in 2022. It's the hottest opportunity that you can imagine. I've known Dan Putnam for over 20 years, and we've been talking about this concept for a really, really long time. I mean, and the fact that it has all come together and that we are launching with a single product focus, is such an exciting thing. And the opportunities here are going to be amazing, amazing, amazing if you take advantage of them. So again, if you've been invited to this call, once the call is over, please get back to the person. I'm going to remind you at the end, but once the call is finished, please get back to the person that invited you to this call to get any of your questions answered, to find out what further steps that you need to take. On August 22nd, we're going to be shipping product. It's really exciting for those of us who've had a chance to taste it. It is delicious, full packed with nutrition. It's one of the most amazing products that I've ever taken. I love the way that it tastes. I love the nutrition that's inside of it. And so I just want to take a second to introduce Dan for a second here, Mr. Dan Putnam. He came up with this idea. It was just a few months ago. He was driving along and an idea came to him, basically the way to kind of perfect this model that we're bringing to you right now, with non-negotiables, with an exercise plan, with a plan for you to improve your financial situation. And as the thought came to him, everything got really clear. He got really focused about what it was that we needed to do. And he and I were able to have a conversation. And we talked, and I started getting excited about this opportunity that we've got here for you. I think the biggest thing for me, if I were to go back in time and kind of like review the relationship that I've had with Dan, he's been a great accountability partner for me. And so what I love about this company and this plan that we have is that it's got some built-in accountability. In other words, when you go out and you bring people into this business, you've already agreed to your non-negotiables. There's 5 things that you're agreeing to do every single day, and that's going to impact your life. It's going to impact your business. It's going to impact your relationships. And that's got me so excited because to have, it's one thing if you have money, it's one thing if you have health, but if you're missing either one of those things, you've got problems. And so to be able to have something here where you're able to bring it all together in balance and share that with like-minded people, as you attract people into this business, you're going to find that some of them are even more like-minded with you than you even thought, and that can rev you up and get you excited, even more committed to the things that you're doing. Something that's exciting to me about this friendship and this working relationship that I have with Dan is that for years, he's been my accountability partner. He's held me to a higher standard, which is an amazing thing. Dan has never accepted less than my best. If I give less than my best, which really doesn't happen very often, because I take my accountability partner seriously, but it drives me to be with somebody who takes me seriously. And as you come across people in your lives that take you seriously, you're going to find how powerful that is. And as you attract these people into your business, and as you make progress towards your financial goals, that's going to be an amazing thing for you to experience. And so without further ado, Dan, are you ready?
I sure am.
Take it from here. I just want to turn it over to Mr. Dan Putnam, somebody who's changed my life. He's created something here that I believe is going to be changing all of your lives. And so take it away, Dan.
Awesome. Just want to make sure you can see my screen okay?
I can see it and I can hear you just fine.
Perfect. Again, thanks everybody. Welcome to our opportunity call. We're doing this every night, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern until the 22nd of August. And then we're going to go live with orders in 5 different countries. So again, we're super excited about that. This is meant to be an in-depth overview of the entire company, what the concepts are, but not really all the information. We don't want to take hours here. We want to go through it in about 25 minutes. So we're going to start by talking a little bit about the founders. The biggest thing that I want to emphasize here is we have a lot of experience. As Tommy mentioned, I've known him for over 20 years. We've been working together as distributors. He's also worked with me corporately helped in marketing, helped with videos, helped come up with, all kinds of different ideas for scripts and emails and websites and kind of everything that you can imagine. I've been in full time in this industry since February of 1993. So we're going now on almost 30 years of just doing this. My entire adult life has been all about building teams, building downlines, building companies, trying to do things better than they've ever been done, trying to create the best duplication and retention model that's ever been created. JC Martinez, one of our founders here, one of the partners in the company, he's been in the industry for over 15 years, starting as customer service, working up to elite services, then moving up to marketing, and then moving up to helping launch new countries and managing countries. And, again, the list goes on and on. A ton of experience in companies, startup companies that have gone from small to very big. Very, very important for people to realize that we have the experience needed in order to make things happen. And then you have Travis Martin. He's been in the industry also for over 25 years, been a corporate that whole time, starting off in companies like Dahisha Noni, one of the first employees there from almost day one, going over to Zango from day one. Those are two of the fastest growing companies, not only in network marketing, they're two of the fastest growing companies in the history of business. And then going on from there, being an owner and a partner in his own company, taking that from 0 to 100 million in 3 years. Again, just a lot of experience. And what AAO is all about, it's about us taking the best of the best, everything that we've learned over the last 30 years, 100 years combined, and put it into one company. And bottom line, as a company owner or as a distributor, our goals are really the same. We're really trying to focus on what it takes in order to create duplication and retention. And so one of the big things that you're going to notice, one of the things that we're really focused on at AAO is what we feel is the #1 asset of every single company, and that's the distributor. So most of our conversations, most of what we're doing is trying to figure out what can we do in order to make more distributors successful? What can we do as a company to help the biggest thing? So a lot of times when you're in these corporate meetings, most of the time you're trying to figure out what can we do on the compensation plan? What can we do with the product? What can we do with this? I've never heard a company say, what can we do with the distributors to make sure that every single one of them can level up and have the absolute best chance of success? And that's what we've really been focused on here. And it really starts by creating some non-negotiables. And these non-negotiables, this is something that came to me probably within the last year. And I heard I'm one that really studies success. So, a lot of times the great thing about success, you've heard the saying, success leaves clues. So when I see something that really becomes a successful company, I really try and dive in and try and figure out, how did this happen? What exactly did they do? And one of those was Andy Frisella with Real AF podcast. First Form, a company that's doing hundreds of millions, created 75 Hard. I started to look at that and I really started to focus is like, what is that? Because I never heard of them ever before 75 Hard. I never heard of First Form even after 75 Hard. When I really started diving down, I'm like, man, they created a massive company off of this podcast, off of the 75 Hard concept, and then a nutrition company that they don't even talk about, which is now doing hundreds of millions of dollars and has literally millions of followers all over the world. And so I started thinking, man, that makes a lot of sense. The 75 Hard, getting people to really focus on things that they can do and realize that I can do hard things. But very few people get through 75 Hard. I don't have any clue what the actual percentages are, but I would guess probably less than 1% of the people that try 75 Hard get through it the first time, or maybe even get through it ever. It is very difficult. It's basically, 5 or 6 things. None of them seem that hard in and of themselves, but to do them every single day, not miss one of them for 75 straight days, almost everybody fails. And we really started thinking, that's not what we want to do. We don't want to put something together that very few people can do it. We really want to do something that everybody can do and really get them to think different about themselves, think different about what is holding them back, think different about what they could do to go from where they are now to where they want to be in their dream life. If you could write up exactly what you want to do, exactly where you want to be, exactly how you want to spend every single day, we're trying to connect that dot from where you are now to that place. And I saw a reel that had Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant was talking about making a non-negotiable contract with himself. And I really started to think of, well, what is non-negotiable? That means you're going to do it no matter what. You're going to do it if you're tired. You're going to do it if you're sick. You're going to do it if you're busy. You're going to do it, period. And I loved that concept. And then I started to think, well, what if we really focused on non-negotiables? What would we really want to do? How would we set that up? And so I kind of looked at 75 Hard and saw some things that I think people, if you want to do everything that you can to impact your health, to be able to make some more money, to again, kind of live that life that most people dream about, or maybe that you dream about, what aspects should you live on purpose as opposed to just, whatever happens? And the first one we came up with is nutrition. Again, no matter how much money you make, no matter, what you're doing and stuff like that, if you lose your health, a lot of the other stuff really is not going to seem that important anymore. So the nutrition is just basically making some decisions. And these are things that you can stick to. With AAO and our product Active Greens that we're going to talk about, you could be starting off, and this could be something as easy as, I'm going to drink my Active Greens every single day. So that's just a small step of improving what you're doing with your nutrition. It could be, I'm going to eat as good as I can 5 days a week and take 2 days off. I'm going to eat 3 days, as clean as I can, and then take 1 day off. It can be different for every single person. Somebody can just say, hey, I'm going to do intermittent fasting. I'm only going to eat from 2 to 6, or I'm only going to eat from 12 to 4, or whatever the time frame is, or 12 to 8. And that's what you're going to do. But all we're saying is decide what makes the most sense to you, something that you feel confident that you can make a non-negotiable contract with yourself. If you can't trust yourself, how in the world would anybody else trust you? And so again, quit breaking promises that you make to yourself. That's what this non-negotiable is all about. Second is activity, physical movement. It's not necessarily going to the gym every single day or working out 45 minutes twice a day, one time outside. That could be for you if that's what you're already doing. But if I'm somebody that never works out at all, and then I say, okay, I'm going to work out twice a day, 45 minutes, twice a day, one of them has to be outside, that's probably not something that's going to be a non-negotiable unless you're already doing that right now almost every day, that it's already part of your life. And so for the average person, it could just be, I'm going to, go 5,000 steps a day. The average couch potato that just really doesn't walk around, that doesn't have an active job, sits at a desk, they usually move around 2,000 steps a day. So I'm going to double that. I'm going to do 4,000 steps a day, whatever it is. These are just different types of concepts or ideas. Personal development. You always need to be improving. If I look at the business, and again, this could just be, studying success. This could be listening to a podcast. This could be meditating. This could be learning a language. This could be learning more about social media, all kinds of things. But just basically don't stay where you're at, because if you're just kind of standing still and you're not improving, you're going to get passed by. You always have to be leveling up. You always have to be trying to improve. Finances, you got to be doing something. If you're not making all the money that you would hope to make, if you don't have control of your time and things like that, do something about it. Don't just accept it. Don't just accept, well, this is how it is. I don't have a degree. I don't have this. I don't have that. So this is where I'm stuck. No, you're not stuck. There's opportunity all over the world, and we're providing one right here with AAO to help you get to where you want to be. If you could choose your income, what you think you're worth, then let's start working towards that. And then the fifth one is just really accountability, having somebody to hold you to it, having somebody to work with you. And what we're doing as a company that we'll be launching by the 22nd is we have an app. The app will be able to link to a Fitbit, we'll be able to link to a Garmin, we'll be able to link to an Apple Watch, any of those types of things, and track your steps, track a lot of the same things that did. So that can easily be moved into the physical activity. You can make cards for your 5 non-negotiables. So you write down exactly what they are. You can update them as you decide to level up. So as you start to feel better and start to be, man, this is, I'm feeling good, I have more energy, then you level up your physical activity and you dial in your nutrition a little bit more. Or, you know, you're starting to find some things that you're really interested in, and you find some more courses to take for your personal development, and you're following the app that we're going to include for the business side, and you're using that to you know, improve your finances, and you're just sending out, let's say, maybe 5 messages a day, and you say, man, that's pretty easy. It's taking almost no time. You start sending out 10. These are meant to be leveling up, and the app is something that you can that you can create accountability groups with your upline, with your crossline, with everybody. And again, it's just designed for us as a company to give our distributors every single thing that they need in order to level up their life and be as successful as they possibly can. And we feel that if a company really takes interest in the distributors and really focuses on helping them level up and helping them improve and helping them do everything that they need in order to be successful, then obviously the company is going to be successful. But just like we just discussed some non-negotiables for you, there's also some non-negotiables that we think you should be able to count on for a company. And these are things that are always frustrating. You know, a lot of times you get started in a company, and then they change the product, they change the formula, they add a whole bunch of products, they create a whole bunch of confusion. And then it's like, man, this really is nothing like the company that I joined. So these are some non-negotiables for the company. One of them is a single product, always a single product. The formula won't change. We've taken a lot of time to go through the formula to make sure that we're confident that every one of the ingredients is something that we can go into all the countries that we want to do business in without having to change the formula. We're not using any stimulants. We're not using any of these ingredients that are probably going to be banned in the next 6 months to 2 years. We're going with a product that is just designed to simplify nutrition and allow people to have the best chance of getting the body actually what it needs. Also, a comp plan's not changing. You know, how many times have you started building a business and the next thing you know, the comp plan's completely different. The qualifications are completely different. Everything's different from when you started. And now the strategy that you had is no longer valid. And so now it's like, geez, I wish I would have known that before I did this, or I wish I would have known that. And then also what happens continuously in this industry is leaders come to the companies, and then the companies insert the leaders above everybody else that have been there and been doing all of the work and kind of got the company off the ground. And then they basically show their appreciation by putting a bunch of people above you that haven't been there from day one, that haven't put in the blood, sweat, and tears that you have from the beginning. That stuff's not going to happen. It's just not necessary. And it's not something that we agree with here with Against All Odds. We're also going to do some things that are a little bit different. We're going to do NFTs to help with the retention every single month. So when somebody signs up and gets on an auto ship, which the first opportunity is going to be August 22nd in 5 different countries, or what auto ship or subscription. So basically you're just going to order the product every month. Every month that you order the product, we're going to include a custom NFT for that month. So it's not for each person, it's each month. So every time you have an auto ship, you're going to get an NFT. So August, it will be one, September, it will be different, October, it will be different. Every single month, it will be different. These are free, but they can be very valuable. And let me explain how. If you get on an auto ship in the NFT program and you stay on for 36 months, we're going to put you in profit sharing in the company. 48 months, more profit sharing. 60 months, more profit sharing. And if you get off of auto ship and miss even one order, you're out of the NFT program and you can never get back in. So when you just think, with everything we're doing with this company, what type of volume could this company be doing in 3, 4, 5 years? Would you like to get a piece of that? If so, you can get a piece of that by solely being active, nothing else. Just being active on a product that we think you should take every single day, regardless. In addition to that, we're going to be launching NFTs for ranks. So everybody, every time you hit a rank, instead of having to send stuff out in the mail and that, you'll have an actual NFT. These are all real NFTs. These will be held in a crypto wallet. You'll go to the site that we've created in order to mint the NFT. This isn't just a picture or something like that that'll show up in your back office. These are actual legit NFTs for your rank advancement. We're also going to have an NFT program. We're not going to discuss that here, that will enable you to have specialized training, to have a travel program, to have the ability to get paid for training, all kinds of things with the NFT program that we're going to be launching that will allow people to scale their income at any level that you can possibly imagine. So a lot of things you'll be seeing about NFTs. If you've never heard of it, don't worry about it. We're going to have all of the training, and you don't have to go mint the NFTs if you don't want to. You'll still have access to them anytime that you want. But these are things that if you just, again, are somebody that looks forward, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, and we have the brand that we're creating with the podcast, with the clothing line, with all of the systems and the tools that we're putting out there, I'm sure there's some people that would like to have that very first NFT in August of 2022, or the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth, when you're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road. It's a very rare opportunity where you're sitting right now, and we're doing things as a company that is going to be able to show that you are with the company the very first month, and you got something for that with this NFT in the second month, and so on and so forth. And just by staying active, you can actually participate in the profits of the company. So if you're one that this makes sense, and with all the background and the billions of dollars in sales that we've already done as a corporate team, and the billions of dollars of commissions that we've already paid out, if you're saying, hey, I think these guys are onto something here, I highly recommend getting on AutoShip and staying on, because who knows what that profit share can be for years 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to talk about the product again, single product. The whole concept here is to really go out there and simplify nutrition. And what I mean by simplify nutrition, if you were to go and watch all the infomercials on different nutrition products and see all the ads on Facebook and on Instagram and stuff like that, and try and decide, what do I take? A lot of the different things might sound pretty good, but it gets confusing. And how many people want to take like 10 or 15 or 20 different capsules every single day, and liquids and powders and all of this stuff? We're just saying, hey, the human body is absolutely incredible, but it's not super, super complicated in what it needs. I mean, minerals are the building block of the body. The cells, there are approximately 70 trillion cells that make us up as human beings. They live in an environment, and on the pH scale, there's only 2 options. It can be acidic or it can be alkaline. And the reason that you really want to pay attention to that is disease can only survive in an acidic environment. It cannot survive in an alkaline environment. So that's something that you want to be thinking about. The blood has to stay alkaline. So the blood is slightly alkaline, and if it goes acidic, it's fatal. So it just cannot happen. So your body is going to pull from the calcium in the bones, the magnesium in the bones, everything that it possibly can to keep that from happening. We're acidic by nature. When we move our muscles, it creates lactic acid. When we use acid to digest our foods, we stress and all of these things cause acid in the body. Most of the foods that we're eating are become acidic. And so again, the body is created to deal with acid, but if it becomes bombarded with it, then you create what happens with acidosis, which means you're in a constant state of acidity in this environment that your cells live in. And what you're basically doing is you're creating in an environment that disease can not only survive in, it can actually thrive. And you're just looking for trouble. So when you're really looking at products, you're looking to do, what are the basic needs of the body, and how could I simplify that so I can just take one product per day and really give my body a great chance of maintaining optimal health. And so we've created 3 very powerful blends: an adaptogen and detox blend that we'll talk about, a greens biomatrix blend, and a nitric oxide boosting blend. And then the 4th one that ties it all together is going to be a max absorption blend to make sure that you can actually assimilate as many of this great nutrition as possible. Right here is our greens biomatrix blend. This is really a kind of the foundation of the product. The greens here are extremely unique. They come from Delta, Utah, about 2.5 hours from our home office. And this is, again, what's so unique about this is this entire part of northern Utah is an ancient seabed. We could go out, I'm in Layton, Utah right now. We could go out into the hills and into the desert and actually find seashells and find fossil of old ocean fish. And we can go down into Delta and see all kinds of that, seashells and ancient fish species and all of this stuff. And we have the remnants of this massive sea in the Great Salt Lake. There's only 2 inland seas on the entire planet. There's the Dead Sea and there's the Great Salt Lake. And so it's a very unique environment with this soil that's just flooded with these amazing minerals. And then there's also volcanoes, if you do any studying, are also extremely mineral rich with fulvic minerals and different things like that, and things like zeolites. And you go into Delta and you're going to see these massive lava beds, and you go into southern Utah and these massive lava beds from these ancient volcanoes. Again, that leaves a tremendous amount of minerals and nutrition in this soil. And then you have a company that has a proprietary way that when they harvest the grass, they actually created the processing plant right where they harvest the grass, right by the fields. So when they harvest the grass, they actually take it and juice it within minutes. And then they have a proprietary process that nobody else has. They can turn this juice into a juice powder with never going more than 41 degrees Celsius and not damaging any of that amazing nutrition. And here's how most companies process their greens. They harvest them, they bake them, basically killing all the nutrition, and then they grind it. And that's your greens drink. That's your greens right there. You're getting all the cellulose and all of the things that the body cannot even digest with a little tiny bit of nutrition. Here you're getting an actual juice powder. It's not even similar to what all of the competitors are doing. And here's just an example. That first picture is the actual pulp. That's what's left over. So they've actually gone and tried to squeeze all of the nutrition out of the grass. They've tried to get every bit that they possibly can. And what's left there is the pulp. The TDN of that pulp, which is the total digestible nutrition, is 6 to 14 times higher than the other grasses that are coming from the United States, the Midwest, and places like that. And those are typically higher than what's coming from the entire rest of the world. So you're looking at the waste material. Again, imagine that if you're juicing an orange, you can get a lot of the juice out of that orange, but you don't get every ounce of juice out of that orange. That's the same thing they're doing to the grass. What's left in after they've juiced it, the TDN is still 6 to 14 times higher than what is typically available in the marketplace. That is absolutely massive. And this center picture here, you're seeing the bright green, that's the actual juice powder that's in our product. The one that's next to it that looks kind of dull gray, almost like sawdust. And basically what it is grass sawdust. So you basically have this baked grass, can be organic. A lot of it is organic, that's fine. But again, you're killing all the nutrition when you bake it. Then you're just grinding up all the cellulose and all the stuff in it. They're not coming from an actual juice powder. And you see on the far right where they're actually juicing it with these massive juicing machines. And then again, they turn that into that beautiful powder that's right there. This is extremely unique. And when you rehydrate it, it is basically identical to the juice that you're seeing right there. Another thing to point out, if you go get a cold pressed juice, like in a bottle from Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or something like that, it's typically going to cost somewhere between $3.50 and $6. And then they're typically putting preservatives and different things like that in there. And that doesn't even have close to the TDN as this rehydrated product that's costing about $1.66 per serving. And then you go into like a Jamba Juice and they juice the grass right in front of you. And a lot of times that's grown indoors, hydroponically grown. The TDN of that, again, isn't even close to the TDN of this product. And there you're typically paying like $6, $8, or $9 for that fresh squeezed juice. And again, $1.66. And I don't even know if this greens biomix, we also have some things with enzymes and to give you the health in your gut mixed in with this green blend. I don't even know if this is the best blend in the product. This is just one of the blends. And so if you were to compare like how much you'd have to spend to get the same greens here, and then to get the adaptogen and detox blend, and then to get the nitric oxide blend, you'd probably be $140, $150, $160 to get these blends in separate products. So again, you have the detox blend, which is from one of our top selling products that we've done literally, several $1 billion in sales all over the world. And we've taken the best parts of that detox blend and put it into an instant drink powder right here. And then also adaptogens. Adaptogens, for people that have studied it, really came from Russia. When they had the major nuclear meltdown, it literally killed all of the nutrition in hundreds of miles radius. And then all of a sudden, these plants started growing back where nothing else was growing. It killed everything. All these plants started growing, and they weren't only growing, they were thriving. And then Dr. Breckman was kind of the first one to go out and study adaptogens. And he started saying, how in the world did everything else die? And yet these things are growing like crazy. And they started putting them in different areas and they started studying them. And then they started doing human trials on these adaptogens. And what they saw is there's these certain herbs, there's these certain products that are designed to actually adapt to the environment that they're in. So they would see people with low blood pressure and they would raise it. They would see people with high blood pressure and they would lower it. It's everything working towards homeostasis in the body. And again, they have study after study after study showing how these adaptogens work. And so what we did is we took the best to get rid of the toxins in the body, and then the other best things to just really normalize your body so it's functioning and working with you as opposed to working against you. And maybe my favorite part of this is the nitric oxide blend, because heart disease is the #1 killer, males and females all over the world. In 1998, the Nobel Prize in Medicine went to 3 scientists, and they discovered that 2 amino acids, L-arginine and L-citrulline, you can put in the correct formula and consumed in the body could create nitric oxide with that. And they proved that nitric oxide not only prevents but reverses heart disease. So again, when you're looking at that, you have something that prevents and reverses heart disease, which is the #1 killer worldwide, males and females. And this has been out there for 24 years. And we have a brand new formula with a completely different pathway that's able to do that even with low oxygen levels in the body. So the L-arginine and L-citrulline, without going into a ton of detail, it requires the body to complete that recipe with oxygen. And if people are super sick with things like COVID that attack the lungs and they have to go on respirators and things like that, they don't have enough oxygen to create that nitric oxide. So we actually have been able to find a different way to create nitric oxide that's not oxygen dependent. And again, this is stuff that just recently came out within the last couple of years. And we have it in the product. So again, an absolutely incredible nitric oxide blend. We can't say that our product will prevent or reverse heart disease. 100% you can say nitric oxide does. And I'll show you here in just a couple of slides what we've done that I think makes this whole product come together and be one of the easiest things in the world to promote. Not only the other things I've talked about with the amazing greens and the microbiome and the adaptogens and the detox, now the nitric oxide. And then we have right here our absorption booster so that you can make sure and get the proper assimilation of this. But this also will come with all of the orders. You'll get 4 strips. Here's how it works. There'll be the directions on there. We'll have videos where first, before you drink your active greens, you test your nitric oxide levels. We've done this with thousands of people all over the world. Probably 80% are going to be low on nitric oxide. And then you drink the product. So you take your first serving of active greens, you wait about 5 minutes and you test again. Probably 85 to 90% of the people, you're going to see a significant difference with the first dose. But you have 2 more test strips. So after drinking it every day for 2 weeks, you test again. After drinking it every day for another 2 weeks for your full month, you test again. And so again, we can't say that our product is going to prevent or reverse heart disease. You can't say nitric oxide does, but what we can do is we can show you what this is doing for nitric oxide levels in the body. And even if one of the people that's very rare, probably less than 10 to 20% of the time, they already have a good amount of nitric oxide in the body. It's been proven that that decreases as we age. And so it's much better to start taking this type of a supplement while it's still high instead of waiting till it's low, because if it's too low, even supplementation can't necessarily always bring it back up. So you want to keep it at as high of a scale as you possibly can, because not only is that shown a tremendous benefit for protecting your heart, but it's also shown from keeping COVID and all these other strains from going in and attacking the lungs and creating fatal damage. Still might get super sick, but there's a good chance if you have that nitric oxide in the body. And there's studies, again, this isn't me just making this up. You can go look at it online. There's plenty of studies about it already, about what nitric oxide does with COVID from keeping it from going and creating all that massive damage to the lungs, putting people on respirators and possibly becoming fatal. So again, this is a great product that I feel every single person should take on a daily basis. And then this gets into the business side of it. So that's the health side of it, again, which also goes perfectly with these non-negotiables for both the nutrition and the physical activity. this product can be a big part of that. And now we're getting into the personal development, things that I can do to learn how to market better, social media, things that I can focus on. And then it gets into the finances, how I can start this company, this business, and really create the income that I'm looking for, the income that I would love to make. If I could say, hey, this is the amount of money I want to make for my job, then what we're doing is we're putting everything together to connect those dots from what you make right now to what you would love to make, because any amount is possible. And it starts with retail sales. The only way that every single person in the company can profit is through customers. And we pay 50% on the actual dollar, and we pay it real time. There's two options for customers. There's just a single order, which is $59.95. You'll make $30 instantly. Or there's a subscription where they're going to order the product every single month. That's $49.95. You'll make $25 every single time that they order it, and it will be paid into your e-wallet real time, instantly. In addition to that, you're going to have the team members that you're working with through your sponsor tree. It's going to pay 10 levels, $1 on the first 5 levels, and then 50 cents on the next 5 levels. This has nothing to do with the matrix. This is a sponsor tree, so you can go unlimited width and down 10 levels. So if I have 100 customers within my 10 levels, I'm going to make somewhere between $50 to $100 a month. If I have 10,000, I'm going to make somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 a month just on the customers. It doesn't stop there. We also encourage customers that love the product, things that they already do naturally. How many times have you taken a product, you love the product, you tell somebody about it, even if they don't pay? You've told people about products you've bought on Amazon, you've told people about products you've bought at different stores, and they don't pay you for that referral. You still refer it anyways, because there's certain people that you know, love, and care about. You find something that you really like, and you want to share that with them. Customers are the same way. They may not want to be in the business, they may not want to participate in a downline, but they would still like to share this. So if they share it, we'll give them a way that they can get the product for free. So a customer can't actually earn commissions, but they can earn free product. So every single product or every single referral that a customer makes, they get a credit. Every time they get 3 credits, they can order a free product. Now they can get unlimited credits. I would say if a customer has a bunch of credits, you should probably have that conversation with them on why they should be a distributor and make $25 or $30 instead of on every single person, instead of just making credits. So again, but that's up to you. On every customer that your customers get to infinity, you make $10 on every single one of them, and then 50 cents is paid 10 levels to the upline. So every time a customer gets a customer, and that customer gets a customer, and that customer gets a customer, and that customer gets a customer, you make $10 on every single one of them. That can, again, be very large. Now we're going to get into what we call working with influencers, people that actually want to be in the downline, people that actually want to build a business. We call them influencers, and it's all built around the simplicity of this $100 minimum check. If I have an active purchase of the active greens for $49.95, I refer 3 other people that want to be influencers, not customers, influencers, and I help them do the same thing. So they refer 3, which is 9. That's a total of 12. The company is going to guarantee you a minimum of $100. So we're going to say, okay, every single member can get in profit by getting 2 customers. But if you want to build a team of influencers and have the ability to make unlimited income, we're going to say if you get 3 and help them get 3, which is the basis of this entire compensation plan, we'll guarantee that you'll be at least $100. So that's going to be double what the product costs. So that's putting you well into profit. So if I want to have the best retention out of any company, the more people I get in profit by either getting 2 customers or by getting 3 members, 3 influencers, and helping them get 3 influencers each, 12 people, that's what's going to keep people active more than anything else, is they're in profit. Now we get into the basic plan. It's a 3-by structure. Everybody works together as a team. All this means is there's only 3 positions on your first level. These 3 positions can be filled one of 3 ways. 1, by you, or 2, by downline duplication, meaning that influencer refers an influencer and they refer an influencer, et cetera, et cetera. Or if your 3 positions are full, based on either you referred them or something else, as soon as those 3 positions are full, the next person you refer is going to go into the downline in order to help every single person build their team. So there's 3 people on the first, 9 positions on the second, 27 on the third, all the way down to 59,049 on the 10th. That's a total of 88,571 positions that we all work together as a team to fill. Levels 1 to 3, again, that's only 3, 9, and 27. That's a total of 39 people. They pay 2.5%. That's $1 per person on the 40 CV. So if I go and fill those 39 positions, I'm gonna make $39 a month. But if I refer 3 and they refer 3, that's only the first 2 levels. I'm gonna get guaranteed $100 that we already discussed. Meaning if I had $12, I referred $3 each, they referred $3 each, that'd be a $12 commission. But the company's saying, hey, if you get 3 and you actually help them each get 3, so you do your part, you make sure that your people do their part of getting 3, we're going to guarantee that $100. So that's basically how that works. Levels 4 through 8 pay 5%. There's 9,801 positions on those levels combined. So times that by 5%, that's $2 per person, $19,602. Go down to level 9, 19,683 people on that level alone. You make $3 per person per product. Again, you're not paid on a person. You're only paid on product sales. So it's $3 per product. People can buy multiple, bags of active greens. This is just based on if they're buying one. That's $59,000 on the 9th level. The 10th level has 59,000, well over 50% on just the 10th level. If you look at the 9th and 10th level, it's probably 80% of your entire organization. But that 10th level, $4 per bag sold. If each just buys one, 59,000 people, it's $236,196 just on that level alone. You add up the 10 levels, it's over 300,000. That's if it's a single product average. So if you averaged 1.5 products, meaning that some people bought 1, some people bought 2, some people bought 3, and it averaged out throughout your matrix at 1.5, then you're going to make about $450,000, $470,000, something like that in that 3x10. So it can be very profitable, and that's per month. That's not per year. That's per month income potential there based on the active green products. Then probably the biggest part of the plan is this generation matching bonus. And this goes off of your sponsor tree. This has nothing to do with the 3x10 structure. This is your sponsor tree, which means you can sponsor unlimited people. They can sponsor unlimited people. And this bonus goes to infinity. So basically, I'm going to make a 5% match on whatever they make in the 3x10 structure on every single person that I sponsor, every they sponsor, every they sponsor, every they sponsor, all the way to infinity, or until somebody reaches 4-star or higher. When somebody reaches 4-star or higher, that doesn't end my pay. That just ends my first generation and starts my second, which also goes to infinity. Everybody they sponsor, the people they sponsor, the people they sponsor, et cetera, until it reaches another 4-star or higher. Again, that doesn't end my pay. That just ends my second generation and starts my third. This continues on for 10 generations. Again, that's going to give you the ability to literally be paid on hundreds and hundreds of thousands of checks if you build that size of an organization. Now, here's what's so unique about this. A matching check has been very popular in a 2-team plan or a binary. A binary pays the fewest checks in the industry. That's a fact. In addition to that, binaries also limit what you can earn. Most binaries pay between 10 to 20,000 per week, meaning the most I can match is 10 to 20,000 a week. If we fast forward that to a month, 40 to 80,000 a month, and it has the fewest checks in the industry. A matrix has the most checks in an industry. So if I go to 10 generations of match on the plan that pays the most checks, that makes more sense. And then on something that has the ability to pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, then that means those matches can be much higher. So hopefully that makes sense to some people. If not, this slide here hopefully just kind of levels everything up and just simplifies the entire business model. There's 3 basic steps. Step number 1, you get started for $49.95. You're going to have the opportunity to do that on August 22nd. Step 2, you share this information. We're going to have videos, we're going to have phone apps, we're going to have everything that you possibly need, exact training on what you need to do to share this information with as many people as it takes to get 3. The next step, you want to do the same thing. You want to help those 3 get their 3. Now, if I'm going to break this down in a goal, I don't want to try and get my 3 within my first 2 weeks, help them get their 3 within their first 2 weeks. The reason why, that's going to get me that guaranteed $100 minimum check my first month. If everybody's in profit by the end of their first month, guess what? They're probably going to stay in the business. And so 3 people in your first 2 weeks, they get 3 people in their first 2 weeks. That's going to enforce that $100 minimum check your first month. If that continues on for month 2 and month 3, that'd be, duplicating it 2 more times. That's going to put you at about $2,145 in the matrix. That's just the matrix alone based off of a single product. If it was an average of a product and a half, then that puts you at a little over $3,000 per month. Duplicate it 2 more times, so that's going to be month 4 and month 5. That's going to put you at over $400,000 per month in commissions. Think about that. $400,000 per month. That's like superstar. That's like professional athlete income. That's massive income by doing nothing more than finding 3 people that want to take what we feel is the best single product ever created for $49.95, and they find 3 people, and then you throw in the non-negotiables, and you throw in the NFTs, and you throw in the podcast, and you throw in all the training and everything that we're putting together. And we haven't even talked, and we're not going to talk until we launch, about the biggest part of the compensation plan, which is our coding and our train the trainer program for the people that want to make 7 figures plus per year, or maybe even 7 figures plus per month, in a plan that's already been proven to do that, and bringing on people that have already done that themselves to teach you exactly how to do it. Again, hopefully this is starting to make you feel like, man, this is really sounding a little different than anything I've ever seen. And basically, it is different than anything that you've ever seen. I again, will conclude with this. I study success. I know exactly what it takes to build downlines of hundreds of thousands of people. I've done it myself as a distributor. I know exactly what it takes to create companies, to keep these companies in business for decades and do billions of dollars in sales and pay billions of dollars in commissions. I've done it. I do it right now. And what we're doing is taking every single thing that we've learned, what I've learned over 30 years, what Travis learned over 25 years, what Tommy's learned over 20 years, what JC's learned over 15 years. And we've taken the best. So I've talked to Travis and said, what did you see when these companies went from 0 to 500 million in 3 years? What did they do? How did they do it? Single product focus. All of them. Single product focus. What started to happen when they started to lose a little bit of that momentum? They started adding products. They started changing, what the company was all about. They started, everybody was all excited about this one direction, and they changed the direction. And then everybody wasn't excited anymore. It created a lot of confusion. And we've just had all kinds of discussions. What's worked in the industry, what's worked out of the industry, what's created the biggest checks in the industry, what's created the strongest companies in the industry. And it all comes down to the companies that have created the best training platforms, have created the best tools, have leveled the field up. Because everything that we're focusing on is what can we do to help the distributors become more successful. We're never going to have a conversation of, what's the next hot product we can bring out. We're never going to have the conversation of, man, what can we do to change this compensation plan? We're not going to have the conversation of, what are we going to do to get these leaders over? What can we offer them? Are we going to do business development agreements? Are we going to insert people? What are we going to do? We've already made up our mind exactly what we're going to do, and it's non-negotiable. We're going to put people in a position that's going to give them the best chance of success that I feel that they could ever have in this type of a business. And we're going to give them a product that even if they do nothing more than take the product, that's going to change their life. And even if they do nothing more than focus on these non-negotiables and consistently start to do things in their life on a daily basis that can level them up and make a massive difference, then we're going to help a massive amount of people. And I haven't even talked about some of the things like working with Amazon and having 7-day delivery. A lot of people in the United States are going to be able to get product same day. Almost everybody will be able to get product in 1 to 2 days. And we're only bringing on countries that we feel that we can get the product to people in less than 3 days, and create all of the tools in their languages and all of the training in their languages. So we're not going in Europe. We're not going in all these countries that every single country speaks a different language until we have everything programmed, all the training, all the tools, all the apps, all the videos, all the entire back office, the sign-up forms, all of those things. It's not going to happen. We're not chasing anybody. We're creating such a powerful program that people are going to come to our distributors. They're going to want to be involved because they see that this is something different. They see that this makes sense. And that's really what we're doing. So what I want to encourage every single person is I want you to take advantage of the next 11 days, more so than anything that you've ever done in your life. If this makes any sense to you, I want you to roll up your sleeves and say, hey, I'm going to give this everything that I have for the next 11 days, because I truly could change my entire future, my entire life in what I do in the next 11 days. There is nobody that puts in a bunch of effort that can't find 3 people in 24 hours for free. We have these recorded. You can share this with 1,000 people at once. You can send this link out to 10,000 people. You don't think you're going to get 3 that'll watch it and say, I'll give it a shot. I'll come in and get a free position and see what happens. You know, get a little bit more information. I don't need every detail to take a free spot. And then you encourage them as soon as they come in and you realize that this is all about duplication, to say, what do we need to do? Let's do anything that it takes so that you can get 3 people in your first day. And you fast forward, we have 11 days by the 22nd. Some people have already had 3 days to get going, meaning if you did everything perfect, you'd have had 3 people your first day, another 9 your second, so 12, another 27 today. So you'd have 39 people in your organization if you're doing what I'm saying perfect. We have some people that have put in 200 people themselves. So we're not talking about anything that's super hard, and that's all happened since the 8th. We have some groups that already have well over 1,000 people in 3 days. So what I'm saying is you're talking about bringing in 3 who bring in 3 who bring in 3. Before the 22nd, you would have that 10 levels all the way full. And now let's just say that 1% of them, well, let's say 10%. Let's say 10% of them actually place an order, get that first NFT, get the product shipped to their door for $49.95. 10%, that's 8,000 people. That's going to put you probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000 to $30,000 from day one. Let's say that only 1% upgrade. That's still going to put you at $2,000 or $3,000 from day one. But it's all based on what you do over these next 11 days. You can sit there and do nothing and start from scratch and have no foundation, and that's fine. But if you understand what you could do in 11 days and how that could literally change your life, meaning on the 22nd, you could have already earned thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on that day. Because most of the people that are going to upgrade are going to do it on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, that are the people that are in for free. Most of them aren't going to sit there and wait forever. Some might, but you know, the longest they can wait is September, because the free people are all going to be purged out if they don't order by September. So again, I'm going to go ahead and end right now. I'll go ahead and turn it back to Tommy to close out the call. Again, don't let this time pass. Take it as serious as you've ever taken anything in your life, and see what you can do over the next 11 days. Tommy, go ahead and close out the call.
All right, you guys, this is powerful. This is, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Dan has spent a lot of time thinking this through, really working things out, working out the system. And, we've all kind of come together, and I think that we've come up with something that's amazing. And I know a lot of you have already told me how excited you are about the things that are happening. So just a couple of housekeeping things to talk about before we close out the call. Be sure to get back to the person who invited you to this call, and be sure to lock in your free spot tonight if you haven't already done so. Get started on your non-negotiables. Those are really important. Start getting involved in those habits right now, because that can, tomorrow you can have an entirely different, more amazing day tomorrow than you had today, just by kicking it off the right way, exercising, eating right, doing all that stuff. Okay, be sure to follow us on Instagram and on our Telegram chat. And I know that we've got, I'll just pull it up here really quick. I know that on Telegram, be sure to get back to the person who brought you the call and find out how you can get subscribed to the AAO influencers channel, because we're doing a giveaway and the details are on Telegram. So anyway, just want to reinforce, we've been saying it over and over on the call right now, but just like till the 22nd of August, get as many people as you can to sign up for free. And we're going to be doing these videos every single night. We've got another one tomorrow night, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's where we're going to be doing these calls. So hopefully we're going to see you and some more people on tomorrow night's call. Have a great night, y'all.